who's the queen of looking like a different bitch every freaking episode. Today, I want to talk about patience, why it certainly is a virtue, and not only that, but incredibly a value, and why you should start prioritizing it in your life. This isn't a conversation about feminine energy. There's so many TikTokers and YouTubers who are really good at talking about that, and there's a time and place for that, but this is actually just talking about patience in terms of cultivating the life that you desire and also dealing with problems. There's a lot of Stoic beliefs that say that you can deal with a lot of problems just by letting them deal with themselves. Which philosopher was the one that didn't respond to any letters, like any of his mail correspondence, because he was just like, yeah, we'll get figured out. I thought that was hilarious. I have struggled with patience exponentially, mate. And I am such an instant gratification, recovering instant gratification hoe, that this has been one of the hardest spiritual and non-spiritual lessons to learn. And it's also hypocritical. I'm incredibly patient towards people, perhaps in like romantic relationships. I was incredibly patient with people that I probably shouldn't have been patient with, and then incredibly impatient with myself and my own progress. As we've discussed in previous videos, progress is perfection. And I know that now, but I didn't know that then, okay? If we knew what we know now, then we would probably all be killing it in the stock market. I've really struggled with patience. I'd be patient with people and patient with myself. And then, of course, you could do it the other way around. You could be incredibly impatient with people and really patient with yourself. You need a balance. The patience is a dance, and it's not a really fast, and it's not a really slow waltz. It's something in between. Maybe it's a tango. I don't know. Brain cannot compute right now. There's a lot of hypocrisy that comes with patience if you don't utilize it in a way that is, like I said, balanced. But I'm going to tell you why patience is so important using a fun little analogy from the kitchen. I was literally making a blueberry muffin bread with nuts and apples and fresh berries. A lot of dishes comes from baking, from the process of baking. There was a couple dishes from last night that I had to clean too. What did I do? That's right, I soaked them. Stay with me. You need to soak your dish. When it comes to manifesting everything that you've ever wanted, you need to soak your motherfucking dish. Not only does it make it easier for you later, but it makes it easier because you don't need to deal with that right now. You put water and soap in there and you just let it be. That's what you're doing with your manifestations. You're just letting the dish soak. And then later when you return to manifestation and it's ready, it comes off easily. It's effortless. And so that's why in pertains of getting everything you've ever wanted, it's not just about making the vision board. It's about having the patience and discernment to know when to soak the dish and when to clean it now. When to approach the problem and when to let it go. When to accept the era you're in is the time and place for whatever it is you want, or having the wisdom to know that this is what I want, but it's not going to be a now thing. I'm still going to get it. I still already have it. It's going to be later, but I'm soaking the dish. It's fine. Just make it easier for yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be scrubbing and causing so much frustration. Yeah, you might get the dish clean, but why make it so difficult for yourself? Just soak it. Just take your time. Be patient. Now we're going to do some tarot. This will be a collective reading. We're going to use my Lenormand cards, which are so fun. Look up Anne-Marie Lenormand. She's a French fortune teller. She's such a badass. Okay, here they are. I did some of the tarot, my ethereal. So I really like Art Nouveau style type art, which is like this. So if anybody has any suggestions for new tarot or oracle that's in that style, I've done my research, but you know, always open. Okay, so I think some of your guys' issues with patience stems and some of the blockages is you need to change the way you look at jealousy. You know, there's some people that really believe that they should follow their envy, because when you follow your envy, you're leading your soul and your body to what you want. You wouldn't be jealous of that person if what they had you didn't want. Why would you be jealous of that? That doesn't make any sense. So you want these things. And the reason that you're so, potentially why you're so impatient is because you're a jealous person. Is that a bad thing? No. You can easily transcend that. Don't think it's a bad thing. It's fine. It's a very common emotion. And you gotta stop looking at emotions like negative or positive. They're just emotions. Try to stay in a neutral zone around that if you can. The number one thing that I would say is follow your envy and learn how to follow it. You know, but recognize that you are not a follower just because you're doing that. You're not doing what everybody else is doing just because you want it. You are the leader of your own life. You are the creator of your own dreams. And that's great that they have that and you want that. You want that relationship, that job, that lifestyle. But when you get it, it's going to look different than that. So just understand that. You're not jealous of what they have. You're jealous of the feelings you think are associated with what they have. Remember that this is the time to make decisions and create habits within the present moment, the present life, that can eventually snowball into what you want. And that comes from sitting with yourself and understanding, well, if you feel stuck, it's because your direction isn't in alignment. You feel kind of like stressed and restless. That means your direction isn't in alignment. If you feel depressed and powerless, that means your direction isn't in alignment. Because everybody knows, every winner, every high achiever knows that you have to fall in love with the process, not the end goal. You visualize you winning that big game and then it happens and that's great, but you know, it was the buildup, it was the preparation that led you to that win. So think about that in terms of being an athlete. You are an athlete of your own cognizance. You're an athlete of your own mind. If you start looking at your brain like it's a body preparing for a big win or a big race, that you look at things a little differently, don't you? Your focus changes. Now you're trying to get hyped, bro. Now you're trying to get hyped. You're getting hyped for the big game, and you know you're gonna play the big game. You know you're gonna get your manifestation. And you may win, you may not, but you're getting hyped. At the end of the day, you will win. But it's not how you think you're gonna win. So I need you to get rid of that. And ultimately understand that all choices matter. You don't have to just make big choices, like big, significant life changes in order to attract the life you want, and to get rid of this impatient mindset. And I think that's what's affecting you so much, is that it's also in the little wins. It's also in the little choices, because the little choices become a part of the big choices. Even a little movement matters. Even a little choice matters. And if you don't think they matter, then of course you're going to be impatient because you're waiting for the highlights of your life. You're not actually living your life. I hope this was helpful. I love you very much. Goodbye.